It's no good. I shall have to go.
Go where?
King's Pyland.
Last evening, Inspector Gregory of the Devonshire...
Oh, come in.
2 more telegrams, Mr. Holmes?
Thank you, Mrs. Hudson.
You've been bombarded with these the last couple of days.
Another one from Inspector Gregory. And one from Colonel Ross.
Ah, that's the horse's owner.
Thank you, my dear. Watson, I have made a blunder, which I am afraid is a more common occurrence than anyone would think who only knew me through your memoirs. And the fact is that I could not...
If I should not be in the way.
Oh, my dear Watson, you would confer a great favor upon me by coming. I'm sure your time will not be misspent. Ha! Mrs. Hudson, we're off to Dartmoor!
Tickets, please.
Thank you, Inspector.
Thank you.
Has that remarkably coloured sporting paper anything to say on the subject of our horse?
Huh? Oh. Yes.
Yes.
Here we are. Silver Blaze. Silver Blaze is from isonomy stock.
Isonomy.
And holds as brilliant a record as his famous ancestor. He's now in his 5th year and has brought in turn each of the prizes of the turf to Colonel Ross's fortunate owner. At the time of the catastrophe, he was first favourite for the Wessex Cup, the odds quoted being 2-1 against. He's always been a prime favourite with the racing public and has never yet disappointed them. In spite of the unfavourable price, a great deal of money has been placed.
Well, there's a trainer's house where poor Straker lived with his wife and a maidservant.
How long had he been with you, sir?
Oh, 5 years as jockey, until he got too heavy for the weighing share. Then 7 years as my trainer. He was a first-class man.
And I presume the stables are beyond?
Yes, not.
Well, with such valuable animals under his charge, I imagine your trainer, Mr. Straker, must have taken some precaution.
Oh, yes, indeed. 3 stable lads live with the horses. And after dark, one of the lads was always on duty in the stables while the other 2 sleep above in the loft.
Is that another training stable over there?
Yes, that's Mapleton. Lord Backwater's yard.
Oh, Lord Backwater owns Desborough, the second favourite for the Wessex Cup.
This is not a bad horse. Not in the same class as Silver Blaze. Fellow called Silas Brown trains for Backwater. I can't stick the fellow himself. Nor could Straker come to that.
It's a natural rivalry, I presume.
Rather more than that. Shall we drive on?
Yes, indeed.
All right.
We have made very little progress in that direction.
I can't imagine.
First, I was not at all taken with Inspector Gregory's suggestion that you should be asked to come down here. Because I don't like amateurs, you see. He's to be able to find my horse. If you ask me, it's these damn gypsies. I expect a miracle from you, Mr. Holmes.
You're making a reputation for yourself in the English detective service.
I'm a keen student of your methods too, Mr. Holmes. I have the 2 principal witnesses waiting for you.
Thank you.
Here, Mr. Holmes.
Who are they?
Edith Baxter, the maid, and Hunter, the stable boy, who was on duty on Monday night.
It was just a few minutes after 9 o'clock, sir. There's a dish of curried mutton, sir. Suddenly I heard a man's voice. Didn't have to give me a turn, I can tell you, sir.
Excuse me, miss.
What do you want, sir?
Can you tell me where I am? I'd almost made up my mind to sleep on the moor when I saw the light.
This is...
I'm sure you wouldn't be too proud to earn yourself the price of a new dress, would you? See, the boy has this tonight, and you shall have the prettiest frock money can buy.
I couldn't!
What do you want?
He asked after you. He asked me to give you something.
What was it?
I don't know. It was white.
Where is he now?
He's gone.
We best cut back up the house quick. Tell the governor.
Yes, Ned.
Good evening. I want a word with you.
What business have you here?
It's a business that may put something in your pocket, my lad. Is it the fact that at the weights, Bayard can give the other 100 yards in 5 furlongs, and the stable...
Got any damn totes for artillery? The governor and the others came down, sir.
How's it to me?
I locked the door behind me, sir. I swear it.
Good lad.
He denies nothing. He says he came for information.
What about the white paper?
He says it was a £5 note.
Thank you, Inspector. What happened next?
Well, sir, it was about dawn when the mistress came into my bedroom and told me to come with her. Well, when she woke, she'd found Mr. Straker's bed empty.
Heavens! The horse is gone. And the bridle. Ned, wake up! Wake the boys. Ned! Ned! Wake up! Wake up, Ned!
Bill! Nobby! Come quick! Silver Blaze is gone!
Over here!
His head was all knocked in. It was terrible.
It was clear that he had defended himself most vigorously. The blood-stained knife. Appreciable quantities of powdered opium were found in his curry.
Did all the household eat the same dish?
Yes, sir. I made it myself and served it.
This black and red scarf.
The gentleman was wearing that scarf when he talked to me. I'd swear that on the Bible, sir.
Thank you, Watson. Thank you.
Through that window?
Yes. Then it was simple. He'd obtained a duplicate key, led out the horse. It was his. The evidence against him is very strong. He was undoubtedly here that night on some devious business. He poisoned the stable lad. He had in his hand a heavy...
No, no. Inspector! A clever counsel would tear it all to rags. Has a duplicate key been found in his possession?
No.
But what chemist sold him the powdered opium? And above all, how could he, a stranger in this district, hide a horse?
What sort of a fellow is he? And why would he do such a thing?
I have the things themselves in the sitting room, if you would care to see them.
Vice and Co. London.
Good knife. Very delicate blade, devised for very delicate work. Strange thing for a man to take on so rough an expedition, Holmes. Especially as it wouldn't shut in his pocket.
The tip was guarded by a disc of cork, which we found beside the body.
You impress me, Inspector.
Thank you. Mrs. Straker said it was on the dressing table. It was probably the nearest thing to hand at the time.
I see. Oh, I see.
22 guineas. Somewhat heavy for a single costume. Mrs. Derbyshire had rather expensive taste.
Yes. Well, there appears to be nothing more to learn here, Inspector. Shall we move on to the scene of the crime?
Yes, of course.
Afterwards.
Have you got them, Inspector? Is there any more news?
I'm afraid not, Mrs. Straker. But Mr. Holmes and Dr. Watson have come down from London to help us. I assure you we are doing everything possible.
I wish you good luck, Mr. Holmes.
Well, thank you, madam. And our commiserations on your great loss. Look, surely we met at a garden party in Plymouth some time ago.
No, sir. You are mistaken.
No, do you know, I could have sworn it. That quite settles it. Thank you.
That is the bush where the coat was hanging.
What was the weather like?
Oh, calm. Bit of rain about.
And the coat was not blown against the bush, but placed there. Oh,
Yes, it was placed there.
Inspector. No, no, no.
A piece of matting has been placed there, and we have all stood upon that.
Not the general public.
I have in this bag one of the boots John Straker wore, one of Fitzroy Simpson's shoes, and a cast horseshoe of Silver Blaze.
Thank you, Inspector.
Burnt wax vesta. Candlelit.
Cannot understand how I came to overlook them.
Oh, they were invisible, buried in the mud. I only saw them because I was looking for them.
What? You expected to find them?
I thought it not unlikely.
And if Colonel Ross is coming to take us back to Tavistock.
Evening, Constable.
Perhaps the gypsy theory is correct.
No. To his own stable, so he must have gone to Mapleton. He must have crossed it. Watson!
By George, look at that.
Happened, acted upon the supposition, and find ourselves justified. Let us proceed. horse and man turned.
No loitering round here.
Haven't you got eyes in your head?
I only wanted to ask you a question. Should I be too early to see Mr. Silas Brown if I was to call around here at 5:30 tomorrow morning?
I shouldn't be speaking to you by...
No, please accept.
Bless you, sir. You're a gentleman. Mr. Brown's the early bird round here, all right?
Dawson, what are you doing gossiping with strangers? Be about your business. Now, what the devil do you two want round here?
Just a few minutes of your time, Mr. Brown.
Be off with you, or you'll find the dog on your heels. Why should I talk every gadabout stranger on the moor?
It may save you instant dismissal from Lord Backwater's service and a stiffish prison sentence. Early Tuesday morning, you were about the yard as usual when you saw a horse on the moor. When you approached it, you realized that it wasn't a strange horse at all, but one that you knew very well. Your first instinct was to lead Silver Blaze back to King's Pyland, but then the devil put other ideas into your head. To hide the horse.
You've been watching me, haven't you? You've been spying on me, sir. So, I do what you want. If it's money you want, you shall have it.
Sneak that Master Silas Brown I've seldom met with.
He has the horse, then?
Of course.
But his stables have been searched.
An old faker like him knows many a dodge. Watson, I don't know whether you observed, but Colonel Ross's manner to me has been somewhat cavalier. I'm inclined to have a little amusement at his expense. Say nothing to him about the horse.
I shall say nothing without your permission.
Splendid.
May well have an understanding with them over hiding the horse.
Nevertheless, I think I owe it to the public to remove Silver Blaze's name for the entrance for the cup.
No, certainly not, Colonel. I should let the name stand.
But I've already withdrawn buyout.
But I have every... That is a minor point, of course, compared with the question of who killed John Straker.
Doubtless you will be devoting yourself to that problem.
On the contrary, Dr. Watson and I are taking the night express to London. We've had the most charming little breath of your country air.
So you've despaired already of arresting the murderer of poor John Straker?
There are certain grave difficulties. Do you have a photograph of Straker? Thank you, Inspector. I am quite ready now for Tavistock. Linger.
I must say I'm rather disappointed in our London consultant. I don't see that we're any further than when he came.
But at least you have his assurance, Colonel, that your horse will run.
Oh, yes, I have his assurance. I should prefer to have the horse.
I think you should heed Mr. Holmes' advice, Colonel.
Well, I shall have...
Excuse me, who looks after these sheep?
I do, sir.
Have you noticed something amiss of late?
Well, sir, it's not much account, but 3 of them have gone lame.
A long shot, Watson. A very long shot. After you.
Is there any other point to which you wish to draw my attention, Mr. Holmes?
To the curious incident of the dog in the night time.
But the dog did nothing in the night time.
That is the curious incident.
Full question before. I tried to know Silver Blaze, with a white star on his forehead and mottled hind leg. I suppose you realize that if my horse doesn't run, Now, quite apart from being lynched by the crowd, I shall be up before the stewards. Probably warned off every racecourse in England for life. Reputation ruined.
Ah, let us hope it does not come to that. It's your horse.
But that's not my horse, Holmes. Good God, man, what have you done?
There, Colonel, is your silver blaze. I found him in the hands of a faker and brought him to the course.
You've taken my breath away, Mr. Holmes.
What place, Bill?
Win, of course.
Any more like you at home? Come on! What's the matter with the damn horse? What have you done to him, Holmes?
He seems to be missing his pacemaker.
Never withdrawn, Bayard. Come on, Silverface! Come on, Slivers! Oh, go on, go on, go on! You're going to win, you're going to win, you're going to win! You've done wonders, Mr. Holmes, and I owe you 1,000 apologies for having doubted your ability. Now, what's all this about if you've got him? Where is he, then?
He's here.
Here? Where?
Someone who's not present at this very moment.
Yes, I quite recognize that I'm under obligations to Mr. Holmes, but this is either a very bad joke or an insult.
So the real murderer, Colonel, is standing immediately behind you.
What, the horse?
Yes, the horse. And it made unworthy of your trust.
Colonel Ross.
Yes. Yes, thank you very much. I heard it last word. Well done. Yes, very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
You know,
Number 12.
Number 12. Yeah.
Chestnut. Roast chestnut.
Very proud of it. Very proud. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Enter the trainer's house, but the immense significance of the color. I am correct.
Oh, quite correct. The flavour is not distasteful, but it is perceptible. Were it mixed with an ordinary dish, the eater would undoubtedly detect it, but would probably eat no more. Curry was exactly the medium with which to disguise the taste.
So it must have been Straker or his wife.
Exactly.
Because I remember you spoke of a dog.
Well, someone had been into the stable and taken out the horse, and the dog had not barked. So obviously this midnight visitor was someone the dog knew well.
I wasn't really convinced that it was Straker.
But for what purpose should he take out the horse and drug his own stable boy?
A dishonest one, obviously. There have been cases before now where trainers are made...
And sometimes by surer and more subtle means. This singular knife, which was found in the dead man's hand, and which no sane man would use as a weapon, right, Doctor?
Yes, only used in the most delicate operations.
It was used for a very delicate operation, that knife. Excuse me. As you know, Colonel, with your wide knowledge of turf matters, that it is possible to make a slight nick in the horse's tendon and do it subcutaneously. Any slight lameness will be put down to a strain in training or so sensitive a creature would arouse the soundest of sleepers.
I've been blind, and Gregory too. Of course, that's why he needed the candle and struck the match.
When I examined Straker's belongings, I was fortunate to discover... From this, I concluded that Straker was leading a double life. The nature of the bill shows that there was a woman in the case. When I visited Bond Street the other morning, I showed Madame Lazuri an extremely good customer called William Derbyshire, with a very dashing young wife with a partiality for expensive dresses.
Women. Women!
Straker let out Silver Blaze. In his flight, had dropped his scarf. Straker picked it up, with the idea, no doubt, that he might use it in securing the horse's leg. Straker was able to light his candle, but just as he had the knife ready, the horse lashed out and caught him a fatal blow on the forehead.
Why? Why did the horse lash out so suddenly? Frightened by the candle, the knife?
Well, animals have a strange instinct. They seem to know when some mischief is intended.
Would not undertake this tender nicking without a little practice.
The sheep. Of course. Wonderful, my dear.
Now, you've explained all but one thing. The horse. Now, where was the horse?
Well, I think we must have a little amnesty in that direction, Colonel.
It bolted and was looked after by one of your neighbors.
Gentlemen, I give you a toast. To Silver Blaze, coupled with the names of my friends, Mr. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson.